Don't you know that I am not the creator of the character of Sherlock Holmes? It's the readers who created it in their imagination. That's what Arthur Conan Doyle used to say when the detective hero loved by many popped up in conversation. The author just mentioned a few details of Sherlock's appearance. In height, he was rather over 6 feet, and so excessively lean that he seemed to be considerably taller. His eyes were sharp and piercing, save during those intervals of torpor to which I have alluded, and his thin, hawk-like nose gave his whole expression an air of alertness and decision. Sherlock Holmes had time to put in an appearance on British, American, and other screens across the world since cinema began. Russia and the Soviet Union hold their own in this competition. Actor Vasily Livanov appeared as Sherlock Holmes in a Soviet film in 1980. He managed to portray his character so precisely and in such a heartfelt way that he became an honorary MBE, Member of the Order of the British Empire, for the best screen portrayal of Sherlock Holmes by a non-British. Instrumental to this success was the idea to represent Sherlock Holmes as a man, with his characteristic charm and weaknesses. Livanov's Holmes came across as both rational and soulful, with a great sense of humor and distinguished appearance. Striking is the absolute similarity of Vasily Livanov to Sherlock Holmes as shown in an illustration by Sidney Paget, a good friend of Conan Doyle's. The same peaking nose, the determined, penetrating glance, and the same aristocratic bearing. The Soviet Sherlock Holmes portrayed by Livanov is not inferior to the British detectives as played by Benedict Cumberbatch and Robert Downey Jr. The actors managed to preserve the charm and charisma of the legendary hero, each in his own manner. Cumberbatch triumphantly transported the Victorian character into the modern world. It proved just enough to dress Sherlock Holmes in a modern coat and provide him with internet access for the detective to find even more ways to apply his talent. Robert Downey Jr.'s character, just as Livanov's, stayed in the 19th century. But the ideas, manners, and appearance of the new Sherlock proved very contemporary. A brawler and sociophobe, the Mr. Holmes played by Downey Jr. manages to crack brilliant jokes and apply his methods of deduction with success. Going back to Russia, Livanov is not the only Russian Sherlock Holmes. Conan Doyle's hero appeared on Russian screens in totally different interpretations. These included the most incredible portrayals, for instance, an animated Sherlock Holmes who worked with his dog, who substituted Dr. Watson, or an independent and charming woman, Miss Shirley Holmes, played by actress Yekaterina Vasilyeva. The viewers liked the detective in a skirt so much that she could equally compete with Sherlock Holmes as played by men. After so many transformations, should we argue about who made the character of Sherlock Holmes their own? Who is he more, a British